Hi, everybody. I'm Kari Simpson, and this is Culture Guard, Your Health. Joining me is
Ron Gray.
And, of course, one of our favorite ongoing subjects here on the Roadkill Radio Network.
What else? Smart meters.
Or, as we say, don't get smart with me, or dumb meters, as some people are starting to call them now. And joining us is Sharon Noble. She's with the Coalition to Stop Smart Meters, a group that has been doing great work on behalf of you British Columbians and, well, I guess Canadians and probably North Americans as it stands now. Sharon, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Kari.
Now, we have been in a lot of discussions with you and with other groups around the smart meters. There was a rally held recently in front of Rich Coleman's office, which was very well attended. I think over 100 people out there with signs and bullhorns. Do you see the momentum gaining here now, Sharon?
Oh, you better believe it. We've had 2 rallies in the last week. We had another rally here in Victoria in front of Perry Kendall's office as well, and we had over 100 people there. The momentum really is building, and we've heard from insiders, which of course we cannot confirm, that there are over 250,000 households who have refused smart meters today.
Wow, and that's certainly not what the government's saying.
It certainly isn't.
Just for members.
I feel that the momentum is building. Every time someone gets a hydro bill or hears about their neighbors getting a hydro bill or reads in the paper about some sort of stupid thing that hydro is doing again, we get more people joining us, and I get emails and phone calls every day.
Just for members of our audience who might not know, Perry Kendall is Dr. Perry Kendall, the provincial health officer who says that smart meters are just peachy for your health. They won't.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or peachy. Is that what he said?
Well, something to that effect.
Is there a scientific definition for that one, Ron?
That's as close as to scientific as
Peachy
Perry
people.
Kendall gets.
Dr. Perry Kendall.
Yeah, well, but listen, I remember that Kari Simpson of Roadkill Radio, you may have heard of her, she was the one who actually read the health flyer, the manufacturer's flyer that came out with the H1N1 flu vaccine. Apparently, Dr. Perry Kendall didn't read it because he thought everything was peachy there too. And the manufacturer's flyer said they hadn't really tested it with a lot of groups.
So just so I can get my medical ease proper, is peachy an ongoing condition then? Is it a chronic condition that our great Dr. Perry Kendall has? Obviously.
Yeah, peachy is chronic.
I don't think Dr. Kendall likes to read all that much because we've given him a whole lot of studies that he hasn't read as well. So
come on, Sharon. He's too busy buying all those fancy shirts and ties for the media, all right?
I never knew what he was busy doing. I have on occasion thought that his lack of response could be replaced by a telephone machine.
Oh, there you go. Well, you know what? In defense of Dr. Perry Kendall, I did write to him once, and he did respond very quickly. So maybe I should take up that tactic again with him on this issue. Now, the media, the media has come up a few times, and certainly a recent article in the Province newspaper, a cover story about smart meters. Now, I remember just a few months ago, Roadkill Radio Network was about one of the only news organizations that were reporting on the chance that there might be more to this story than everybody's going to be happy with their smart meter. Now we see the downstream media, as we refer to it, or conventional media, coming out a little bit with increasing stories. Am I right in that, Sharon?
Yes, you were slow. You were way ahead of the curve, Kari, but they're starting on occasion to get out there. But still there's a media connection with hydro that you have to be very aware of. Hydro has $13 million of advertising money, and most of the standard media, the newspapers and the radios, are very, very eager to get their hand on their portion of it. So even if you have an article about something that has happened, for instance, our rally in Victoria, the Times columnist had a column about our rally, but they spent most of it saying what Hydro was saying, that there was no problem, that Perry Kendall said that there was no problem. So, even though the media is starting to do it, it's always a little bit backhanded, and we're very, very grateful when Roadkill gets out there and allows us to give more information here for people.
Well, and that's what this is about, isn't it, Sharon? Because people need to have this information. They're certainly not getting it from Hydro. Now, I have actually attended an information session sponsored by Hydro, and I was aghast. I sat there biting my tongue as lie after lie after lie just kind of flowed, or mistruths, not all the picture. It's very concerning that if this program that we're embarking on, this smart meter global grid, is so good for everybody, why aren't we giving people the good facts, the true facts on this?
I don't know, and it's very, very concerning. I share your concern, Kari, because we are going about spending $1 billion just for the installation. There will be another $1 billion at least for the maintenance and storage of our data. Then there will be even more money for upgrades and maintenance. As you know, software is constantly changing when you have something like this. It's computer driven.
Yep.
So we're spending a whole lot of money that could be spent keeping good jobs, could be spent really doing things that are ecologically friendly, for instance, helping people get better windows on their homes or get better furnaces. Instead, what we're doing is throwing more money after bad on something that is very dangerous and something that is totally invasive into our home and into our privacy. And every time Hydro gets out there, and whether they're talking or they're putting something into advertising, you can say it's lying. Cindy Brasher gets out there and with her sweet smile says that these things are safe, says that they only emit 3 times a day, but at the same time says that they are going to have minute-to-minute information available. I mean, some of these things, if you think about it,
I know.
Really quite.
Well, let me tell you.
And that is the person who I was referring to that I watched do this information session, and I remember thinking, wow, the doublespeak that's going on here, the lack of continuity in their own debate and discussion, it was really quite fun. And actually, here at Roadkill, we are putting this information together, and we are going to just be, debunking the myths and misinformation that is being purported by Hydro.
Well, I hope that you have probably no doubt seen our flyer on our website, StopSmartMetersBC.ca. Under printables, we have a flyer called Separating Fact and Fiction. And on that, we've taken quite a few statements, about 30 or 35 statements, that Hydro says over and over and over again, and have written what we believe to be the truth, either taken from scientific statements or taken from even legal documents. We've got manuals from Itron. We have the information that Itron has provided to the FCC in the States about these very same meters, and also a court document where Itron was forced by through PG&E in California to come up with information that they were trying to hide. PG&E was saying the same thing, only 3 or 4 signals a day, when in fact it was up to 190,000 signals a day.
Yeah, there's not only is the electricity being used, there's upgrades to the system, there's synchronizing of the data. Now, Sharon, I was actually listening to CKNW recently, and I've asked my tech staff to pull the clip from that because there was a few-minute discussion about smart meters, where the panel of, societal experts that they get together to have their little, regurgitate what's going on and spit out the nonsense, that's so typical of advertising agencies like CKNW and the conventional media. I was just floored when I heard one of the spokespeople, and I didn't write down the names. I was just, we'll get that, and we will be publishing this information, people. But she said, "Oh, come on, who are these people, these rebel rousers kind of thing? Every time you walk into a Starbucks, you're being, hit with more Wi-Fi waves than any of these smart meters." And I thought, whoa. If these are the people, and this is the ignorance upon which they are informing the public about this debate and discussion, then we, the people, those of us that have taken the time to become informed, to look at the research, this is the level of stupidity that's out there, people, that's broadcasting to hundreds of thousands of people on this.
That's absolutely right. And they say outrageous things, and, they have so much contempt for the public and for our intelligence that they really think that we'll believe it.
Yeah.
This is when Hydro tries to make everyone believe that they're taking special measures to make sure
Yeah.
when banks and American Express and NASA can't do it?
Yeah. Well,
Sharon Noble, let me give you an example.
Well, wait.
Before
Before you do that, I want to go back to this Wi-Fi business.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just give an example of how stupid that comment on CKNW by one of the societal experts is. Okay. Number one, you have a choice whether or not you want to walk into a Starbucks and be assaulted with Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
Okay. Do people have a choice? Well, most people are being told that they don't with smart meters.
They don't. The smart meters are running 24/7 all day long. You have absolutely no choice. And also, the Wi-Fi can be turned off. If you choose to have a cell phone, or if you choose to use Wi-Fi, I would say it's not a wise choice, but that's your choice.
Yeah.
You can turn it off.
Yeah.
These things are on all day, every day.
But Cindy Verschure there was a meeting at the seniors complex where I live about smart meters. Cindy Verschure was there. And now the smart meters there are all in little hydro sheds. And there's one just about 5 feet away from one of the bedrooms in my house. And it has 7 smart meters in it. Cindy Verschure says, if there's more than one, they'll cancel each other out.
Sure. You want to buy a bridge?
Oh, boy.
How are all of these meters then going to register to hydro if they cancel each other out?
Well, yeah. By the
That's part of the contempt they play for us. They really believe you're going to believe that.
Let's take a commercial break. We have an exciting contest to tell you about. Hi, everybody. I'm Kari Simpson.
I'm Ron Gray.
And we are here to tell you about our exciting contest.
You have a chance to win an autographed copy of Michael Coren's book, Heresy.
This is a Roadkill Radio special, people. Go to our website, www.roadkillradio.com, and check out the contest rules. There's actually a video there where Ron and I discuss how you can win one of these books.
There's 5 ways to win. Check it out. You can get one of these books as a prize.
And you might be the lucky winner.
Yes.
Roadkillradio.com, people. Look for the contest. Okay, we're back with Sharon Noble, the Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. You can look at their website, and well worth going to, people. They are at StopSmartMeter.ca.
No.
Well?
Stop Smart Meters BC.
Oh, BC in there.
BC makes all the difference in the world.
Okay.
Okay, let's give you that again. StopSmartMetersBC.ca.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sharon Noble, you were mentioning security and the guarantees that BC Hydro glibly makes, saying that, all of your data will be secure and taken care of. No one will have access to it. I just recently came across an article from Wired magazine written by Kim Zetter, in which he said that a group of researchers has discovered security holes in the 6 top industrial control systems used in critical infrastructure and manufacturing facilities. And these are the programmable logic controllers that are used at hydro substations and things. And all 6 of these were found to have serious security errors in them.
Not only that, once we get up and going, if we get up and going, which I hope we don't, we will become part of a smart grid that covers the entire North American continent. The goal is to have every state in the U.S. and every province in Canada interconnected, primarily so that if the corporations, wherever they be, need more power, they can shift it very easily from homes to companies. And many of the cyber experts, and I'm sure that you've heard David Chalk talk about this.
Yes, I have.
The former director of the CIA in the United States, several congressional committees in the United States government, the FBI, have warned that having such a wireless grid across the country that connects people is asking for trouble. It's not a matter of when, if, it's a matter of when. this grid is going to come down. Whether it's through accident, whether it's through some teenager just wanting to prove he can do it, or whether it's through terrorist activity. If someone gets a worm into the system, like the U.S. got into the Iranian system not long ago, it can bring everything down. Not for weeks, not for months, but for many, many years.
Sharon, we've got
It's a major issue.
Yeah, the issues here, and this is what I thought was so ridiculous about the discussion that transpired on CKNW. They want to make it into this little minuscule issue, people, being Wi-Fi'd by baby monitors and Starbucks. But the issues here far and exceed that. We've got issues around personal privacy. We have issues around protection, not only as individuals, but as a nation from terrorist activities, vulnerabilities that we've never had to consider before. We've got the health issues. Now, the health issues as they relate, if a smart meter on the side of my house was the only Wi-Fi I had, I probably wouldn't be concerned. But we're seeing an increase in every aspect of our lives where we're starting to rely on this technology. So we have, wireless internet. We have cell phones. People are wireless baby monitors. We've got, and we know they're coming, appliances now that will be sending out wireless signals in conjunction with the smart meters. So you've got two issues there. You have your data about what you're doing in your homes, but again, you're increasing the amount of activity as it relates to Wi-Fi within your homes. There's a cumulative effect that's happening on this. One of the individuals that we were talking to, some of the experts on this, we visited a playground after the rally here in Langley, where this playground is situated in the middle of a new housing complex, a townhouse, and it's surrounded, literally, it's just this little square in the middle of these 4-story townhouses where Wi-Fi is just being bounced off and one building to the next. So the kids aren't even being hit with the first one, then they're getting the ricochets off of all of this.
Oh, but they all cancel each other out.
I keep
nothing
forgetting.
to see here, folks. Nothing to worry about.
So we've got...
You have to know, Kari, as well. It's not just your smart meter. It's going to be the thousands of smart meters in your own particular little neighborhood grid.
Yeah.
They're going to be communicating with a new transmitter they're going to be putting up along the street called a collector grid meter, which is going to be getting, on average, the signals from 1,000 homes.
Oy.
And then this collector transmitter is going to be sending it off to a WiMAX transmitter. So you're not just having one layer of radiation, you're having thousands of layers of this microwave radiation added to the already heavy, overloaded layer that we're bringing our kids into.
Well, one of the other issues on this, because at the same townhouse development that we visited with the professionals with the measuring equipment, was a bank of 18 smart meters that were situated right next to one of the individuals' homes that was very concerned about what was going on. And one of the things Hydro says is, well, they're not even, giving off information yet. They're not even working, But we measured it, and that was pulsing at levels that were very concerning to the individuals that we were with. What's going to happen when these things get up and going in full capacity?
It's unbelievable. We have pictures from California where trees that are in the vicinity of meters, a few yards away, a few meters away, are dying.
Wow.
They're dying. What's happening to our cells? This is awful. And people are beehives. Farmers are losing their colonies. We're going to be in major trouble when we have no pollinators left.
Well, Sharon and Kari, another aspect of trouble. Just let me read you one paragraph from a report that I got just this month. It says, a series of hacks perpetrated against so-called smart meter installations over the past several years may have cost a single U.S. electric utility hundreds of millions of dollars every year, according to an FBI cyber intelligence bulletin. And the FBI says that it expects this type of fraud to spread across the country as more utilities deploy smart grid technology.
Okay, so
the experts are saying that, such as David Jock, are saying it's much easier to commit fraud against this wireless technology than it was the older technology. You know, they're saying that one of their sales pitches is that they'll be able to catch all these grow-ops and save billions of dollars.
Yeah.
It's going to be easier. The people who are using the grow-ops and are stealing electricity are laughing up to the bank with this.
well, and especially those grow-ops, I mean, at least they put money back into the economy the second time around when they buy all the luxury houses and everything. Sharon, I want to move on. Okay, so we have privacy issues, personal privacy. We have national security issues. We've got health, personal health. What about the health of our environment, our houses, for instance? There's been some talk that these smart meters like to catch fire.
Yes, and I put out a report about 2 or 3 weeks ago in which I accumulated evidence from around the world. There have been hundreds of fires attributed to smart meters. One very notable one was in Palo Alto, California, last August of 2011. About half the city had smart meters put in. There was a power outage. When the power came back on, there was a major power shift, which happens with these smart meters.
Well, it's a surge.
Yep. Through. The analog meters will stop this. The smart meters don't. And there were 80 fires.
Whoa!
Wow.
That one afternoon, and they were only in homes with smart meters.
Huh.
And this is something that is very concerning. There was a fire just reported that occurred yesterday in Port Alberni. Now, Hydro is saying that it was attributed to poor installation. That can be true because the installers, by and large, are not trained electricians. They are people taken off the street and given minimal training, and are, there to put the smart meter on your home, doing a job that an electrician is supposed to be doing. But in many cases, these fires have occurred weeks after the smart meter has been put in.
Wow.
There's a surge that it happens that your household wires cannot handle.
Okay, let's move to this story that was in the province now. This individual is very concerned. I understand you've been dealing with this situation, Sharon. For our audience, can you sort of give us a little bit of background into what's happening here, why she's taking the stand she is, and what's happening as a result of it?
Certainly. The newspaper article was about a lady who is managing the apartment on behalf of the apartment house on behalf of her mother. Her name is Sonia Macaras. And her mother is, I believe, 89 years old, a retired doctor who is very knowledgeable and who is suffering severe health problems. She has congestive heart failure, among other things. And in January, Sonia contacted me and said that they had been notified that Quarks was going to be coming and putting meters in their 70-unit building. They have 72, I believe, smart meters in 3 different meter rooms. And her mother was very concerned about the health effects of her tenants and did not want the smart meter in there. And Hydro, of course, says that it's the people who pay the Hydro bill who should be able to make the decision, even though the owner is the one who will end up living with the consequences. These people can move, and the next person coming in may not want a smart meter. So Sonia's mother decided that she was going to make the decision, and they wrote a letter basically explaining what the health effects would be, and also saying, giving information that I provided about how the cost would be increasing. And they wrote to Hydro and said, based upon these issues, we are going to deny access to our meter rooms until the process has played itself out in court, because we have our legal actions going. And so Hydro got back and said, well, it's not your decision to make. We'll deal with the individual tenants. And fortunately, they haven't. And the tenants, by and large, were very grateful. And then last Friday, Quarks called up and said, we're coming sometime between 8 o'clock on Monday morning and 8 o'clock Wednesday night, and we're going to change the meters. And the locks have been changed, and they have not given the key to Hydro or to Quarks. tenants felt so strongly about it that several of them had agreed to stand vigil outside the meter room doors to make sure, and they were
Yay!
a welcoming committee.
Yeah, welcoming committee or a go away committee, I think, is probably.
Well, her mother has the feeling, and I believe she's absolutely right, that she has the democratic right, because she owns that property,
Yep.
to say that she doesn't want one on here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And she has seen the effects on the billing, where the bills have gone up astronomically. And she believes that for her sake of her tenants, even those who do not live near the meter rooms, that they have a right not to have their bills increase drastically. And she has many people who would live near those meter rooms where there are 20 and 30 meters, and they would be exposed to very high levels of radiation.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about that, because one of the strategies, and I think it's a really good one, that I became aware of at the last rally was your organization, Citizens for Safe Technology, were distributing a letter that people were going to send to Rich Coleman, the minister responsible for energy and mines and smart meters, asking him to confirm that he's familiarized himself with all the research, because there's an abundant amount of excellent research out about the harms associated with smart meters, acknowledging that he would waive his immunity from lawsuits. Most elected officials are given indemnity. You can't sue them unless they act in bad faith. So I would suggest that when I became aware of this, that in fact nobody could be operating in good faith by requiring, mandating people put onto their house a piece of technology that is known to harm, to create health problems, to create issues of privacy, to break the law on those fronts, and that if he's so convinced that this technology is safe and that my privacy as a citizen of British Columbia is so protected, that he wouldn't mind just saying, yeah, you can sue me if worst case scenario happens. I think that's a great letter.
It's a great idea. Yeah. And I know many of us have sent it in. And I know that I haven't received a response yet.
Oh, Sharon, I'm shocked.
That's surprising. I thought for sure that Mr. Coleman would be more than happy to sign that and return it to me.
Well, from what he asserts, it should have just been an easy kind of situation. He has so much confidence in this that, he had basically invited people to leave the province if they didn't want to be progressive.
That's right. And when 44 or 45 community governments, municipal governments, have said they don't want the smart meter, at least they don't want the smart meter program as it currently stands, and the Union of BC Municipalities say they don't want it, they want a moratorium, Rich Coleman said, you're going to learn to love the meter. You have to.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know that, Kari, I know you are familiar with it, and I hope that your listeners will listen to this. This is very important. Last May, the International Agency for Research into Cancer, a panel of the World Health Organization, classified, after reading hundreds of documents, microwave radiation from all wireless devices, cell phones, cell transmitters, smart meters, Wi-Fi, etc., as to be a possible human carcinogen. It is the same classification that DDT, HIV, lead, like you would put into paint, all of these things are in that same classification. I wrote Kari Kendall at that time, and I said, I believe that this means that smart meters and Wi-Fi in school should not be taking place. These programs should be canceled. And he said no. He doesn't recognize this classification. And I think it is very significant that Hydro could have canceled the program at that point. They could have kept the meters and made them into wired meters. These very same meters that they're putting in could be very easily and inexpensively modified to work on telephone lines, on internet cable lines, on fiber optic cable that TELUS is putting across the province. Instead, they said no. They're forcing us to put this dangerous meter on our home, and we can't use lead paint in our home. We can't put DDT on our yard, but they can force live with this. I think this is something that is quite amazing.
Well, and I think that's why the people of this province, Sharon, thankfully with your leadership and that of all the other good people who have been sacrificing your time and energy, because none of you get paid for what you've done here. And I know this has become a day in, day out, probably a lot of nights spent working on this so that the people of British Columbia are being informed, have the tools and resources available to them. At this point, Sharon, I'd like you to just, because we're fast running on him, tell people what they can do. If they don't have a smart meter at this point, what can they do to just stop this?
If they don't have a meter, they should immediately take precautions to protect it. Now, they can go onto our website. It's StopSmartMetersBC.ca. Go under printables, and you'll see some pictures of what some other people have done to protect their meters. Also on that website and on that page, there are letters that they should send off. There's a non-consent letter. Send it off right away to BC Hydro and to everyone else that is copied there. Let your MLA, let Christy Clark, let Rich Coleman know that you are saying no to a smart meter. Print off no trespass sign and put it on your meter with your address, with your name, and have it there on the meter, on the cover, because Clark is saying that they don't respect it if it's not signed and if it doesn't have an address on it, because your neighbor might have put it on there. So you go out there and you sign it, and you make sure that you do everything you can to make sure that you don't get a smart meter. As well, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends. We don't have an advertising budget like Hydro does. And we're completely grassroots. As you said, there's nobody getting any money from this. Every cent that's being donated, and a lot of people have been very generous with their donations, but we need more, goes to our legal fund to pay our lawyer. We have 2 ongoing legal actions right now, and we would like very much for people to participate with us. One is a Human Rights Tribunal complaint, charging that even people who have doctor's reports that say they should not have a wireless smart meter because of their current health condition, they are being forced by Hydro to have them. People with problems like epilepsy, migraines, multiple sclerosis, cardiac problems, people who are sensitive, who have chemical sensitivity or who have sensitivity to electricity, people who have deep brain implants or pacemakers. These people should not have smart meters.
No.
And their doctors are saying they shouldn't, and Hydro is forcing them to. So on their behalf, we have filed a formal complaint with the Human Rights Tribunal. A second legal action has been filed with the BC Utilities Commission, charging that Hydro has gone beyond the Clean Energy Act. The Clean Energy Act says that BC Utilities Commission, which is our legal regulator who's supposed to watch out for our sake and make sure that the money is spent wisely and well, was removed. The BC Utilities Commission has nothing to do with smart meters so long as Hydro does what the Clean Energy Act says. But the Clean Energy Act does not give Hydro the authority to put a wireless transmitter on our homes or one that is gathering our personal data and transmitting it. So we have charged that the BC Utilities Commission should call for an immediate injunction, and this program should be stopped and amended so that it follows the Clean Energy Act. Well, so we would suggest that people participate, keep in touch, sign up on our coalition to receive updates, pass information to all their friends and neighbors who might not know what's going on.
And that's a really key and essential ingredient to the success of this, isn't it, Sharon, is that we have to take responsibility for our democracy. We have to take responsibility for this province. This province belongs to the people, and each person can just do their part by telling 5 other people. Everybody has friends. All you moms who are at school who care about the health for your kids and their friends and their families, you have a responsibility to spread the word here. The Sharon Nobles, the Eunice St. Clair's, the roadkill radios of this province can only do so much. We need your help to get that information out. And I want to add this, Sharon. I did pass the form on to BC Hydro and to Corex. I locked up my analogs. I have two, one for the house, one for the barn, with a cage and with locks, no trespassing. Don't touch my analogs. No really means no in this case.
Wonderful.
And so far, so good. It would take a brave sort to manhandle my analogs.
They can be charged with vandalism because, according to the law, they can only touch their own property. And supposedly, and this is something, Kari, that I don't understand. Supposedly, Hydro owns the meters. If somebody could explain that to me, I sure would appreciate it.
Yeah.
We own Hydro.
Yeah.
We own their debts.
Yeah.
We paid for the assets.
Yeah. We own the resources.
Yeah. So how does Hydro own the meters?
Yeah. Well, we finally found out something that they own.
Sharon
I don't
Noble.
understand this.
No.
I mean, it just boggles my mind. But supposedly, they can only touch what they own. So if they come to your house and pull off your meter and do some damage, they can be charged with vandalism.
Sharon Noble, on your website at StopSmartMetersBC.ca, just underneath that printables button, there's the petition button, and there's two petitions on there. One of which, they're both important, but one of them I think is very important because it's for an initiative. It's
Are you sure you're on our site?
Yep.
Okay.
Stop Smart Meters. It's on your site, but the Citizens for Safe Technology is there. StopSmartMeters.ca has a petition there.
There is another group.
Yep.
Is the referendum group, and it is under StopSmartMeters.ca.
There's also a link to it on your site.
Yes.
And the Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. And this is an opportunity for the citizens of British Columbia to have a vote on this. Nobody asked you before. But now this group is.
Oh, wait a minute, Ron. No. We have a better vote coming up, and they call it an election next year. You bet.
Next year. Well,
and I think there could be a very clear and loud message sent. Sharon Noble, we have run out of time. There's so much more to talk about, and I'm sure we will. There's what people can do who've already had a smart meter installed. Your website at StopSmartMetersBC.ca will have all that information. People go visit there, sign up. You're giving out information, news releases, I'm supposing, Sharon.
Yes, we are.
People can keep informed, and people donate. Help the people that are sacrificing their time on your behalf. This is hardworking people. I'm sure they'd rather be out in the garden doing what we would like to be doing in BC. Instead, they are locked in their offices, typing and calling on the phones. I mean, your phones, I know what my phones have done since we embarked on this issue, Sharon. I can't imagine how your life has been transformed as a result of you stepping out to fill the gap and bringing people the information.
Well, it's time well spent, and I'm very happy to do it. And I just hope that people do choose to become involved. You're absolutely right. That's the only way democracy works, is if we get involved.
Yeah, and you know what's great about it, Sharon, is as I've traveled this province, and I'm going to close with this, talking to people, the overwhelming majority, I would say that 94%, we are all common, civil-minded Canadians who love this province. We have the best place to live, people. And you're right, Sharon Noble. We own the water. We own the resources. We, the people. At what point do we say enough is enough? Stop abusing us as taxpayers. Stop abusing the resources that we want to give over to our children and our grandchildren. Let's, as a collective of common sense British Columbians, come together, reduce government's influence in our lives and their dictatorship-like tendencies, say enough is enough, and bring proper perspective to the role of government in all of our lives here in this province, well, and the nation for that matter, people. You and I, Sharon, Ron Gray, and all the other good people that are involved in this, we have a mandate, and that is to do what's right for this province, for our children and our grandchildren, and I think it's time we all got together. Thank you.
Better, Kari. Well said.
Thank you, Sharon Noble. Thank you, and all the good people who work with you at the Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. Again, their website, StopSmartMetersBC.ca. Have a visit, send a donation, tell 5 people. I'm Kari Simpson.
I'm Ron Gray.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.